Weed control, insecticides, and variety trials were some of the topics discussed at this year's Sunbelt Expo Field Day held out in Moultrie. However, the most important issue might have been the weather, as heavy rains during the planting season put a slight damper on the peanut crop.
Now, May is what hurt us. May, we had a lot of people that started getting into the fields when they really would plant a majority of their crop, and then it started raining. And when it started raining, it didn't quit for 3 weeks. And we've got people that usually are through planting by May 15th, between May 1st and May 15th. They didn't even start planting until June.
With the crop being put in the field later than normal, peanuts are obviously a little behind schedule.
We are a tad bit behind on pod growth right now, probably a week to 2 weeks based on what happened in May. And so that's another reason that it's so important that we stay ahead of any problems that might come up.
Of those problems, there's one in particular that farmers should be concerned about due to the weather. It may cause some growers to use creative ways in order to combat the issue.
The top problem that we've got right now to concentrate on is diseases. We're hot, we're humid. White mold's already been seen in several fields. I expect leaf spot's going to start showing up eventually. Those are the two biggest ones we got to deal with, and I think with the wet conditions, we've got some growers that can't get in the field on time. You may want to start looking at, do I need airplanes to fly on my fungicides versus me trying with my sprayer, just to kind of keep on track.
Despite the early setback, Montford says growers shouldn't be discouraged as there is still a good harvest to be had.
If we have a good wet, hot August, and we have a good hot, wet September going into October, and it doesn't cool down until November, hey, we got a chance to make a pretty good crop all the way through.
Cotton also has been affected by the wet conditions as their planting season was pushed back as well.
It's impacted it early on from the standpoint of we didn't have much rain, and so it got very dry at the early part of our planting window, and then it became, when it rained, it poured, right? So we've had a lot of rain, forced a lot of our cotton to be planted later than we'd like to, and ultimately what that's done is put a larger portion of our crop planted at the end of our planting window, if not really close to the end of it.
But now that the crop is in the ground, it's important to keep a close eye on it as insect problems become bad this time of year.
To me, it's all about knowing what's going on, having a scout or hiring one or scouting yourself and doing it on a regular basis. Whether it's whiteflies or stink bugs or worms, every field's different, and ultimately being able to know what's going on in that field can help make that right decision or ultimately the wrong one.
And just like peanuts, cotton growers will be hoping for favorable weather conditions, considering just how small the margin for error is.
And what that ultimately is going to do is make the month of August really important for our growing season. We've had a fairly good one. It's a lot of rain so far, but the fact that you have a lot of late planted cotton, we don't have much room for error, so to speak. And we need August to be a good month with good rainfall and good temperatures.
Reporting from Moultrie, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.